Holy shit, guys. I have a insane story to tell you about. I was in Texas celebrating my cousin's birthday, and I wake up, it's 9 a.m., it's the second day, and I walk out to my car to get my backpack back, and I realize that it was stolen out of my car. I left it unlocked. $4,000 plus of stuff in there. It's everything I need to live and make a living. So I'm like, holy shit. What am I gonna do now? I felt so defeated. Then I realized that my old iPhone is in there and my AirPods, which are both trackable. So I pull up my Find My iPhone app and I click on devices, and both my AirPods and my iPhone are in the same area. So I'm like, holy crap. So I grabbed the keys to the car and I asked, does anybody wanna come with me who I'm in the house with? And they said, we're good. I think you should just call the cops. I'm like, I'm gonna go get my shit back. So I hop in the car and I'm going there and I'm driving fast. I am furious, I'm upset, and I'm emotional. And I'm like, what am I getting myself into? Am I gonna get shot or stabbed? Because I got called on the phone as I'm driving there saying that it's one of the most dangerous places in the USA from my wife. And she's like, babe, we have a child, what are you doing? And I'm like, I know, I'm just gonna see if this is possible for me to get my stuff back. Because that's the goal, is to continue my trip with the stuff I need to enjoy the vacation I've been working for. So I'm driving 25 minutes. As I'm 10 minutes away from this place, I decided to call 911 and be like, yo, someone stole my stuff. How do I handle this? I have the location. What do I do? And they're like, you need to request a civil standby. So that means the cop pulls up to you and we knock on the front door and like, hey, give me our stuff back. So I'm pulling up to the house and I get the first look at this house, and it's a little run down. There's bars on the doors. And the neighborhood felt a little sketchy. So I'm like, okay, maybe this isn't something I should be. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be here. Maybe this is a dumb idea. So I drive around and then I decide to park far away so I'm not just parked outside their house, and I file a police report of all the expensive items I have in the bag. And I'm waiting for about 30 minutes now, no cops. So I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to do now? So I decided to just park my car and just stroll down. So I'm walking down the street. And I'm just trying to take a peek like I'm some guy who's walking down the street. Look down the backyard, no fence blocking it, and there's a back alleyway. So I decided to walk all the way around this alleyway, and I look and I just see bags everywhere, like gym bags with clothes. I find like more gym bags and backpacks, and I decided to walk into this backyard. So it's a pretty open space. So you can just walk into this person's backyard like it is their front yard, and there's this shed on the right-hand side. So I look in the shed, lots of bags. I'm like, these are definitely the people that stole my shit. And I look at my phone, and it says that in the back of this car, my AirPods are right there. And my iPhone is in the house. So I'm like, okay, this is gonna be a challenge. So my first idea is hey, let me steal it back from these people. So I go to pop the trunk, the front door, the back door, the side doors, nothing opens. And I'm like, okay, this is gonna be pretty impossible to get my stuff back, right? So I'm like, okay, I need to relax and not get shot or beat up, or I don't even know what I'm getting myself into. So I get back in the car and I pull along the side, and I'm like, let's just wait for the cops. Let's not hurt ourselves, because what's more important is my family and my kids. So I'm waiting for about another hour, and I see someone walk out of the house. It's an older gentleman. He looked just like a regular guy, and he looked like a father with some gym shorts. I'm like, okay, he didn't look like he's gonna beat me up for anything. He didn't look like someone who'd steal something. I just didn't get that vibe from him. And then 3 different kids walk out. So a guy who's about 5'5", and then 5'7", and then a girl who's about 5'6". They all 3 walk out of this house, all right? I'm like, okay, what's happening? And then they jump into that black car I tried opening. So they pull out, and I pull out and around, and I want to follow them, and I end up losing them. And I'm like, what's happening? I'm gonna check my app. So I check my Find My iPhone app. The AirPods are gone, but the iPhone is still in the house. So I'm like, okay, perfect opportunity. Less people in the house, less likely I'm gonna get beat up, and I get to talk to that older man, right? So I was hoping to talk to the dad. So I'm like, screw it. So I take a big deep breath, and I walk up, and I start pounding on the door, and I'm waiting. And I pound again. And I'm waiting, pounding. No one's answering. I'm like, okay. I'm like, yo, hello, anyone there? So after knocking for a minute, the same young kid, the shortest kid, who walked those 2 other people out, came around the corner. He's like, what's up, man, everything good? I said, yo, my shit was stolen, and it says that it's in your house right now, and I'm here to get it back. He says, all right, So he pulls out his keys, he unlocks the door, he says, come on in. And I'm like, what the So I walk on in and I'm like, yo, it says it's right in here. I'm gonna start looking through stuff. He says, go for it. So I start rummaging through this entire house. A living room, a little kitchen, and his sister's room. And as I'm about to walk into his sister's room that he just walked out the door, the mom and dad pop out with a little girl. And the mom is the sister to this kid. And she's like, what's going on? And I'm like, yo, someone stole my shit, and they said, and it says that it's in this house right now, and I'm here to get it back and not bring the cops or get anybody involved. Like, I'm just trying to get my shit back and enjoy my vacation. And like, yo, you're not gonna find anything, man. Like, there's nothing in here, but you can look. Everything's okay. You can look. I pull up my phone. I'm like, guys, look. It says it's right here, and everybody's looking at my phone, all three of them. And I start walking to the sister's room. And I find bags everywhere. There's just like all these designer bags, and not like a normal amount of bags where, like, you know, someone has like 4 or 5 backpacks, but I'm talking like 10 bags all in the front. So it's like bedroom, makeup, TV, PlayStation, and I pull around the corner, I go around the dresser into the closet, and there's 40 bags, like stacked to about my hip level. And they're all different types of bags, sporting bags, backpacks, designer bags, purses, and I'm like, these are definitely people who stole my shit. This is just like some young kid who made a mistake, and it's not like someone who's gonna mess me up or murder me or beat me up. I think they generally just made a mistake. That's where my head's at. So I came in with the intent to leave and not cause issues. And I think they felt that. So then I'm looking for 20 minutes now or so, and there's this one drawer in the top right corner of the living room right when you walk in. So the front door, couch, air mattress, and right there is this drawer. So I open the top drawer, there's clothes, and as I'm opening it, the young kid, the shorter one, says, yo, that's my stuff, man. You're not gonna find anything. And I open the second drawer, my phone is right there, face down. I grab it, and I go, this is my phone. I'm like, are you serious? Do I need to call the cops right now? Like, what do you want me to do? I need all my shit back right now, is what I'm telling them. Yes, my voice raises a little bit, but I'm not screaming. I'm just being very stern. So I have my phone. I'm in the middle of Texas. I have all these random people I don't know around me, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm so pissed. You guys lied to me. There's no way. Then the sister from next door comes over, and she says, oh, hey, what's up? What's going on? And I said, my shit was stolen, and I found my phone. She's like, oh, no. I bought that phone from some guy at 7 a.m. this morning. And I'm like, you expect me to believe that? So someone pulled up to my car at 2 a.m., stayed up all night, and then sold you this phone for $200, and now it's in your house. Like, it's just that convenient. I'm like, I don't believe you. I just can't believe you. How can I? And I said, I need your number, and we're gonna figure this out. I'm going next door to get my AirPods, because that's where that car in the backyard pulled around the corner. So I told her, I'm gonna text you the address. You're gonna tell me who stole it, where they're at. I'm gonna get the keys to the car, and we're gonna get my shit back. So I go over there, and as I'm trying to figure out whose house this is, I'm knocking on doors. Nobody's answering. I'm trying to open this car, still nothing. I'm trying to peek inside. I'm trying to take a picture of the VIN number, which is covered. So I'm like, this is so sketch. These guys have been doing this they know what they're doing. They've been stealing shit for so long. So as I'm trying to open this door for like 10 minutes, I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? The girl calls me. She says, yo, the guy who I bought the phone with just dropped off the iPad and the laptop. Come over and get it. So I come over, and it's on the porch, my laptop and iPad, and they said, there you go, there's all your stuff. And I'm like, yo, that is not all my stuff. I have so much money left over in there. I am not leaving until I get my shit back. I will call the cops. Like, and I don't want to, but don't make me. Like, I'm not interested in doing that. You have a kid here. I'm not trying to have some dumb shit like this ruin your guys' life, and I'm just trying to go home and enjoy my vacation. They said, okay, we're gonna handle it. So the two sisters are on the phone calling, and they're speaking in Spanish, so I don't understand what's going on. And then so I'm hanging out in this front porch, hanging out with the kid and the two sisters, and they say, oh my God, the guy who sold me your phone and dropped off the stuff, they just got your backpack and they put it in the backyard. They dropped it off. I'm like, okay. Obviously, they're just looking out for their brother. We go to the backyard, and in the dirt is my backpack. And they go, oh my God, is that the backpack? and they're just playing dumb, and I'm just going with it because I just want my shit back. And I pick it up, all my stuff's in there: AirPods, money, fanny pack, everything that's important to me. So I put it on my back, and as I'm walking out, as I'm walking from the backyard to the front yard, the cop finally pulls up. It's like been 5 hours later, and he says, "Did you get all your stuff back?" I'm like, "Yeah, we figured it out. We're all good. No big deal." And he's like, "You got all your stuff back?" He was flabbergasted, and I don't even know how I even got to that point. But I'm like, "Yeah, we got the stuff back. We're good." He's like, "Awesome. Thanks for your time." And he dips. And I put all my stuff back, and I'm like, "I'm missing a charger to my laptop. Can I get that back too, please?" They're like, "Okay." So I go back into their house. We sit down on the couch, and they whip out this gigantic bag of wires. So there's like 100 wires of like all these different chargers, iPhones, laptops, iPads, all these different cords for Androids. So I'm like, okay, here it is. This is definitely not the same one, but a different charger that matches my laptop. So I grabbed that. They gave that to me. So as I'm putting my backpack on my way to the car, they're walking me out to my car saying, "We're so sorry. We're so sorry. Please don't call the cops. We don't want the cops involved." And I tell them, like, "You're so lucky that I'm just a nice guy who doesn't want to like get the cops involved and like I don't know, just cause a big issue for your family. I'm not that guy. My hope is that whatever I did today, you guys will get away from whoever stole the shit and brought it to your home, because obviously they're causing you problems that you don't deserve, that this child doesn't deserve. And I just suggest you get whoever stole it to get them out of your life." So thanks for getting my stuff back that you stole. I got my car and I left. And then they called me 15 minutes later with the grandma who owns the house saying, "Did you put our address in the police report?" And I told them no. And they said, "Lo siento," which means "I'm sorry" in Spanish. And I'm like, "Yeah, it's all good. Just make sure the child's safe, because I'm not interested in like separating a family." And they're telling me that they were having problems with immigration papers. So that's the story of how my backpack got stolen in Texas. And I went and I got it back. What I learned from this is that if I lead with, my heart and logic and without violence, and I got the exact results I wanted. I'm only missing a couple cords and a book, but I got most of my big essentials back, the things that matter to me, the things that help me, make a living, the things that matter to me most, and my trinkets and, the personable things that I brought. So I hope they, I don't know, I just hope that they don't do that stuff anymore, because they're just lucky. But yeah, that's my story, guys. Thanks for watching the whole thing if you did. Did I handle this right? I don't know. I thought about it for a long time while I was sitting in the car, and I really think I handled it the best way possible. Every person I've told the story to, they say, like, you should be charging or getting the cops there, but I just don't see the good in it, because there's a child. Like, I don't want to hurt them by separating the family. I don't know. So yeah, this isn't really a YouTube video. It's just a story I want to tell you, and that's why I made YouTube videos, to tell stories. And it's probably the craziest story I've ever had in my life. So